Hey everybody, rebelsatcloudnine here. I'm going to do an inbox review today, guys, of AMT's 1/1000 scale Excelsior model kit. This is kind of a harder Star Trek kit to find. It's not impossible. It's not like it's, some of those older monogram kits that you find them and you basically hold on to them for dear life. This one is floating around a bit. I managed to pick this off of a guy in Anton. Back in the day, he bought a ton of Star Trek kits. Seriously, he seriously had about 30 model kits built and a stack of about 10 kits unbuilt, and this was in there, and he just wanted to get rid of them to some modelers. And I went up there with my dad and bought a couple kits. It's actually where I bought the Battlestar Galactica model kit that I built last fall for my brother. So that was actually the reason why I went there, was to get this. Again, it's 1000 scale, and I've always kind of liked the Excelsior. It first appeared in the Search for Spock movie. I believe it was in the Voyage Home. I can't remember. I haven't watched that one in a little while. And it was in the Undiscovered Country, where it kind of made a bigger debut there, where you actually got to see it in battle. It was pretty cool. Yeah, the Excelsior is an Excelsior class starship, and it was supposed to be this new design that was kind of going to put all the other starships out of business. That's why it was kind of there, is to make the Enterprise crew feel a little useless, that this is the new way that things are going. So it features transwarp drive, which was the big deal. So it's got these different transwarp engines here. They're quite different than what the Enterprise or other starships at that time had. If you go watch the movies again. So yeah, it made its appearance in a couple of the feature films, and its kind of bigger appearance for the Excelsior was in Star Trek Generations. What actually happened in Star Trek Generations is, in the beginning, they're christening the new Enterprise B, which is an Excelsior class starship, and it has some subtle differences to it. I believe some of the detailing on it may be a little bit different, but one of the biggest differences is right here, these two blue parts here on the back. These are the impulse engines, and on the Enterprise B they gave them some big ones on either side here. They're pretty darn big. It's also got kind of a rib on the lower hull section there. I'll kind of show that better when I get into the kit. And they also added some different details, some kind of fins here, and they changed these so that these would glow just a little bit though. And yeah, again, it's just very minor differences that they did to it. But what they did is they used the existing Excelsior model instead of rebuilding one. And that's actually what AMT did as well. AMT, when Generations movie came out, they destroyed the Excelsior mold. So this is kind of a harder kit to come by. Again, not impossible, but a bit more expensive than most people would like. And a lot of people are hoping that Polar Lights will release this one again in the future. I'm kind of hoping for it as well. I'm more hoping that they make the earlier version. I'll get to the earlier version later. But then what ended up happening is the Enterprise B was changed into the USS Lakota, and from then on they needed another one for an episode of Star Trek Voyager. And what they actually did is they went ahead and they rebuilt the Excelsior, but they did one thing a little different. They changed the engines on it. This is the part that lights up here in blue, and what they did in the Excelsior for the Voyager episode is the black part here lights up, and this part that's blue is black. It's kind of funny because in the kit you get the option to have both of these as clear parts, so you can pick which one that you would like to have. So anyways, let's get into this kit here. It's a pretty cool kit. I'm quite happy with the detail in it. I haven't built an AMT kit in years and years, and I'd like to get to this one soon, but I'm trying to find some more stuff for it. So for now I'll just do an inbox review. So let's take a look at the saucer here. It's pretty darn big, and I have the 1000 scale Enterprise to compare this to, so you'll be able to see kind of how big they are. But again, that's why one of the reasons why I really wanted this is I've always wondered how big the Excelsior is compared to the Enterprise. Now I've got it here. A couple of differences between the movie 3 and 6 is it used to have a circular reactor right here. Instead, they added 2 in here. And one of the things that they did is they wanted the Excelsior to seem bigger, and this is one of the problems with the model, is people have complained and stated that the bridge is too small. And I actually found out that the studio did that on purpose to make the model look bigger, or the ship look bigger than what it was. So it's kind of cool. Nicely cast plastic, very thick, so if you want to light it up, you're going to have to cover up the inside, but it's really thick plastic. I don't think you're going to have to worry about too much happening there as far as light escaping. And here's the bottom of the saucer. Not a lot of detail on the bottom. There should be a bit more detail, but you know, for the most part, I think most modelers are going to go ahead and do that all themselves. But it looks pretty good. We've got some nice parts cast in here, and you know, I think they look like they're going to fit, you know, really well. But you can see, I mean, the detail on the top here is just so much more than the bottom. But I guess you're not looking at it all the time there. So yeah, let's get to the hull here, the hull section. So it's got kind of this funny shape of a hull. As you can see, it from the top it's kind of like a surfboard, but then when you get to the side, it's very, very sleek angles. I really like that. Here we have the photon torpedo bays on either side. It has a whole bunch of raised panels. They're all in this really funky looking grid, and I've seen a lot of modelers just go ahead and sand it all down. I don't blame them. It looks kind of funny. And here is I believe it's the shuttle bay. I haven't actually heard that 100% confirmed, but there's a piece that goes inside here. And then here, of course, is for the deflector array on the front. So, and here is the top of that section. So this is a compartment on the ship. I'm not sure what this is, but it's got a whole bunch of windows and some nicely raised panels on there. So if you wanted to go ahead and rescribe the pieces on this model, it wouldn't be too difficult, but you can see this fits like that. And then this oval here is for the pylons to sit on, which actually I'll get to right now. So here, this is the inside of the shuttle bay. It's pretty barren compared to its movie counterparts, so plenty of fun in there for some scratch building. And here's for the front of the deflector, and yeah, this is what holds up the warp engines there. So the bottom half of it busted off. It used to sit like that, but again, nice detail, pretty nicely cleanly molded. Again, nice thick plastic, which I'm actually pretty excited about. And here's the engines, or warp nacelles, and they've got some more raised panel lines on them, but they're fairly nice. I'm quite happy with I'm really happy that the plastic is so nice and thick that you don't have to worry too much about, you know, light bleeding through if you wanted to light it up. And here's the clear parts. I haven't actually opened up this bag yet, but you can see here's the tops of the engines, and here's the sides. So again, you can have them lit up. You could have the whole darn thing lit up, or you could paint either one of these black. Here's the impulse engines. This is an error in the kit. They say that there's a third impulse engine. Let me just pull this off here. So here's the impulse engines right here and here, and there's a divider that goes right there. And then they say that the third one goes right there. It doesn't. I've checked over several Excelsiors and haven't been able to find anything to confirm that. So I'm gonna just assume it's an error from AMT. No big deal. Yeah, this is part of the oval here for the pylons. You put those two together, put that on top. This is what connects to the ship. This kind of goes in the back. Now this typically here in the back, this is the shuttle bay, like on the Enterprise. So I'm not exactly sure what it is on the Excelsior, but I'll find out when I do some more digging. And here's part of the neck. You have to build the neck. It has this very weird ridges on it here, and there's some detail missing in here. I can't remember what it is, but You can either scratch build it, but there's some good aftermarket kits that you can go ahead and buy. And then yeah, these are covers that go on the on top of the engines, like that. Kind of these little slippers. Oh, I forgot to mention that, because I did say differences between the Enterprise B. So you would get some fins on the back and on the front here, and the rib things kind of come here and they go around on either side. They actually look pretty nice, but you can't get rid of them and build the Excelsior. I have seen someone build the Excelsior out of 2 Enterprise B kits, so it is possible. It's just a lot of work. So here's parts of the display stand. Now the guy had already built one, and he said that the only problem with the kit was the display stand to the kit was missing. And I said that doesn't really matter because I can build my own. But then what was really funny is when I opened up the box, these were in here, and when we were looking for the Galactica, he had all of this stuff. So this is one that he had already built, and so then it fits just like that. It's kind of a weird cradle thing that it rests in. Don't know if I'm going to use any of that, but nice to have. Nice that guy was just being so helpful to find all these missing pieces. Really nice modeler to deal with. Let's take a look at the instructions and the decals here. So these are printed by Invisiclear. I've used these decals before from this brand. They're very nice. I'm gonna go put these in a plastic bag so I can have them in better care. But there's a funny thing. I didn't know this until I watched a couple of videos. But then someone pointed out that in the Search for Spock, the Excelsior is not an NCC. It's an NX-2000. So to me that's kind of interesting, and I believe they use NX as kind of prototype starships. I'm not exactly sure 100% because in the series Enterprise they're both NX class starships, so maybe that's how it is. I'm not sure, but the decals look pretty good. The only thing I can say is in an error, and it's a simple fix, is the arrowheads here. You can see how they're pointing down, and they should be straight, so you just gotta cut them out and turn them around. So that's a really quick fix. So taking a look at the instructions here, they're fairly big. It's this big paper you gotta unfold, but they're really easy to read. And what's really nice that I love is that it tells you what everything is. I love it. So yeah, here it says shuttle bay interior, paint undersigned light gray, deflector antenna housing, navigational deflector antenna, secondary hull deck, deck canopy, yada yada yada. You get the idea. So it goes through and it tells you what everything is, and I love it. I love it when instructions do that, because then it means I don't have to do as much work looking it up online, and it's one of those things I wish more companies would do in general, because it just makes life easier for the modeler, because they've already gone ahead and done all the research, and then as a modeler you have to go back and do all the research when they could just print it like that and away you go. So again, instructions are really simple. I think if you lost the instructions you'd still be able to put this kit together pretty quick. So we get one kind of plan like that, and we get a second one which would be kind of cool to put up on the wall, and also to have this in color, but it's the decaling and painting guide. So here you can see, I'm going to actually fold this up here. Yeah, here you can see this nice profile of the Excelsior. It's quite a pretty looking ship. And yeah, decal number 8, light blue. They don't give you specific colors, but they give you enough that you can make your best judgment, especially back in the day. This is kind of before we had all this internet research that we could just pile on top of. And then here are more colors and such. So I don't know if there's anything else to really talk about with the kit, but there's one thing I want to do, which was, this was actually the first thing I did when I got the kit and I brought it home. I'm going to put that, I'm just going to put that there. And this goes about here. And these two sit about like that. So this is about, you can see it's out of frame, but this is about how big the Excelsior is. I'm actually going to push it so that you can see at least the front of the saucer. Let me just line that up. Okay. So you can see the engines still go back pretty far. And I actually got a tape measure here, so let me kind of measure. This is approximately how long the Excelsior is going to be. So it's going to be, yeah, about 19.5 inches long. And here is my Polar Lights Enterprise refit. I haven't done the final videos for this, so my apologies. And let's put this down here about nose to nose. So there you can see the differences between these two ships. This Enterprise is pretty big. Let's see. It's, yeah, this is about 12, just shy under 12 inches long compared to, what was that first one again? Sorry. Yeah, 19.5. So the Excelsior is pretty darn big. Again, that's what they were going for when they were designing the ship, but like, here's the engine comparison. As far as size goes, it's almost twice as long. And just a big ship. Like, let me put these two kind of together here. I can't really. But there, bridge to bridge. It's a pretty darn big ship. Like the Enterprise hull or saucer, you can see it kind of goes down here, and then there's this flat ring here. The Enterprise, like it goes just kind of before it. It's still pretty small. So again, I'm not trying to say which one's better. It's just, I just always thought it was really cool to see how big the Excelsior was compared to the Enterprise. That was one of those things I always wondered, because you never really got a full idea of how big the two were. They always said it was big and this and that, but you know, there it is in 1000 scale, so it's pretty cool. So again guys, if you're looking for the Excelsior kit, you can find them on eBay. Do a little hunting, do a little negotiating. I'm sure you could get one for a really good price if you're looking for one. Polar Lights, it would be really awesome to have a brand new tooled Excelsior, especially one that's a little more updated and accurate. What I have seen some modelers do, I do know that this about the Polar Lights kit, about the Enterprise B. A lot of people are buying the Enterprise B and mixing the parts with the Excelsior, because the engines, or warp nacelles here, they changed them. They're more accurate, and more accurate to the Excelsior, and the lower hull here, or sorry, not lower hull, lower saucer, has more correct detail. If I remember correctly, this here is sticking out too far, and it should be this one. I can't remember, but I know they added more detail on here to those molds. So what some people are doing, again, they're buying the Enterprise B and the Excelsior, and they're kind of kit bashing the two together. I'm not going to do that. I think I'm quite happy with having the Excelsior like this, and I think any modifications I want to do, I can do that on my own. But it's a beautiful looking starship, a very nice model. I'm so excited to have this. And again, I want to buy some more aftermarket add-ons for this. I really want to buy some Aztec decals for this, you know, to match this, because this is just fantastic to look at. All that little detail in there. But I mean, can you imagine it on this? This is, you know, it's got more color in it. It's got blue on here. There's this blue and gold kind of pattern. It would look absolutely fantastic. So that's kind of my goal. I'm holding off on it. I'm searching on the web to find stuff, but other than that, it's a really great kit, and I'd like to thank everybody for taking time out to watch this inbox review. I know it's pretty long, but there's a lot of history to cover with this little ship. It's gone through some remarkable changes. It's quite an interesting model, so I'm quite happy to have it. So thanks everybody for watching. This is rebelsatcloudnine, and I'll see you guys next time.